I don't blame it on you. You're the leader, and this place is a goddamn mess.
Okay.
It's a shitty.
I thought we were coming together.
No, I'm not.
Hold it. I thought we were coming together to have respect for one another and make things better.
We are.
Okay.
This is not that kind of a meeting.
He has this facts.
We are.
Only facts.
I'm done. I'm done.
But he has a floor.
Nope.
You might want to stick around.
No,
for this
I don't
because
think
we-
I'm not sitting around. We didn't
You
come
are
for
the
that.
Speaker.
If you guys
You
have
don't
a
have the
problem
same
with
agenda.
Shaw as a realtor,
No,
then
no,
you
no,
do
no.
it.
Think, all right,
Not
stop.
a realtor.
Stop.
I'm
I am
talking-
I
not.
can talk
Just
now. All right.
made
No.
a statement about how I do business. I've never worked with you. You do a number of dual agency. I don't. Is it legal? Yes. Is it ethical? Questionable. You cannot say, you find me
You
one
can
of my clients that will tell you that I did something for money, because that's not my reputation. And for you to sit there as a realtor and make that accusation against me, you know what you're doing.
Okay, excuse me,
End it
we're
there.
not talking about real estate today, except the real estate of Bottom Lakes.
Right. That's
Well,
what I
Okay,
But
the
this is a
reason-
bad way to
the reason
start.
I brought this up.
Yeah, this is a very bad way to
Share
start.
with you our objective, and that is fellowship and doing everything you can to the people that you're around. Not just real estate, but as a person.
Now,
right
twice
here.
you've said doing it to people. We are doing it for the people. We
Well,
are
let's
doing
talk
our
about
duties.
that.
Okay.
Can we talk about that?
So,
She has some observations.
okay, are you finished now? Because
I am
I'm
finished.
ready to leave as well, because I'm not going to put up with nonsense.
I think you want to
If we
hear.
want to have.
I think you
a
want to hear
real
what we have to
conversation,
say.
We will.
You need to have facts. And
Stop.
I'm pretty sure you
Let's
don't.
stop right now. Please, everybody
I
listen
think
to
you're
me.
going to
Yes,
have it.
ma'am.
We came together
We are, and
today
that's what I.
to
that's
be
what I-
respectful of one another,
Yep. As
to
ladies and gentlemen.
listen to one another.
Yep.
Okay, so let's listen.
No,
Hold
let's
it,
take
hold
this
it,
off the agenda
Christina,
first.
and to listen to one another. I know that you guys, as a team, let's call it a team, you guys have ideas, suggestions. We were in the focus group together. You have suggestions. Well, you know what? And we want to hear them.
Good.
And
Let's
we're willing to.
Let's get on with it.
But we are not here to
Can
talk
we share our
about,
findings with you?
and we're not here, I did not think, we were here to talk about your tit for tat regarding real
I do want
estate.
answers to everything they put on that flyer. I want facts for all of
Okay, so
However-
let's let her Jairus, because she's got all
Just a
the.
couple of
facts.
observations, please.
it. No, please not.
All right.
You weren't even part of this group until
It's okay. Mark was the original owner in here, so anyway. All right, let's start fresh. I'm Jairus Collins Ruth. Please have a seat, brother. I don't want to talk behind you. That's why I'm going to go here in the front. I've been in real estate for 31 years. I've been here in Missouri for 20. I'm originally from Illinois, across the river, and farm girl and everything else. I have 14 designations. I'm a broker salesperson. I am also a master in real estate. I have a master's degree in real estate. I also have owned 39 businesses. I've also had 26 moves with the military. I've also run 503c organizations, which is very important to understand that. And I'm here to try and resolve what I see is going on. Just fact. I have
How long
fact.
have you been involved in what's going on?
For 20 years.
No. Here. How long have you been involved
20 years.
in what's going on in, okay.
20 years. I've been here since
Not
2004.
how long have you been here? I said, how long have you been involved?
Well, I would have been involved on the board had you not stopped me.
Who stopped you?
You did. I have a letter.
And you are not the only one.
You have
that
a
was
letter?
stopped.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that letter.
Well, I have it locked up because you're not
Oh.
going to touch it because you're not going to rip it up, first of all.
But we
I
have
came
one
on.
person.
I tried to come on with
This
Jay
is
Black.
not what we had
This is
planned.
garbage.
No.
Or
this is-
not planned, we didn't
There's
plan
no
this
point if
meeting.
you all aren't going to try
We
to
wanted to
speak
work
back.
together today.
I think you have to listen to what she has to say.
No,
Yes,
Christine,
I think you do.
we don't.
Can,
You do.
please?
Well,
No, we
there's
don't.
going to be.
Well, then we need to figure out how to say it and only talk about facts.
I have plenty of
We'll do
it.
that.
I have 30
I withdraw,
documents here
and
right
I
now. So.
apologize for that observation.
All right, let's start. This is a 5031c organization. Do all of you understand what a 5031c? That's a charity social environment. That means the charity part is nonprofit. The other side, the social side, is the party walls, the floors, the ceilings, and everything here in Autumn Lakes. We are all co-joined together. Roofs, ceilings, floors, walls, everything here is part of the association, and it's part of our 503C. And that's very, very important to realize. And part of the 503C that George Musterman put was this big old book right here of rules, regulations, and that's a demonstration. That's a demonstration, and I'm doing it deliberately because it runs with the land.
Shut up.
It runs with the land. It doesn't run with these buildings.
You guys can take off. I'm not.
So I'm trying to point out
That tells me
that this is covered by the courthouse. It's all legal and registered.
Yes, and you've already
Jairus,
misconstrued some of
I want
that.
to tell you something.
And all of it is recorded in the courthouse, and all the violations of all the people that are in here, all these violations, and they need to be accounted for.
You know what, Jairus? You make very good facts, and I'm listening to you.
Okay.
But I'm not going to listen to somebody
I need-
tell
I
somebody
need-
else to shut up.
Okay, I apologize.
Excuse
I apologize.
me, You asked for answers.
Yes, you asked for answers,
Okay.
and you need to
Let
stay.
me say one
Professional-
sentence.
Professional meeting.
You asked for answers earlier in this meeting. You wanted examples of everything that was on the flyer. And if you stay, we will give you
somebody
examples of
wants
that.
to-
If you don't stay, that is abandonment, abuse of power,
It is
and
not abandonment.
you're leaving.
This was a meeting
doesn't
that
have
you
to be
called
here.
and said professional.
No, she has to
meetings.
be here. If she's a president, she has to be here because it's
I
part
do
of
not have
the
to
rules
be
and
here.
regulations.
No, I don't.
This
You
is
make
a
Shaw,
meeting.
you
You
Shaw.
Christine, I don't want to hear a word from you.
You make
I
up
need
your
to
own
hear
rules.
nothing.
This is-
Look, is
I don't
this
know
how
what
you
you
guys
say.
operate?
You say.
Here.
I will
Well,
listen
that
to
is
you.
us.
You talk as
Sneaking
an
around
owner.
trying
I
to
will
get
not
people
listen
talking
to
to
bold-faced
them.
And you need to
lies.
hear what
We haven't done that. Laura, we haven't done anything like that.
If you
We haven't voted
wrong,
on
you're
it.
gonna regret it.
You
We
need
got-
to be thinking real hard.
I've got evidence.
You two have done.
Haven't done anything except
If
the
you
truth.
guys want the evidence, it's
Okay.
here. Sean,
Okay, we're gonna continue the meeting here,
All right.
so it can be heard.
We will
Is that
continue
okay?
the meeting.
I won't do that. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to make a demonstration.
I did it just to say we had something in
I
common.
want this right.
And
We have the same
I'm
objective.
listening to
No,
that.
you told her she
Madonna's
didn't have
listening to
it.
that.
Okay,
We're
I'm
all
gonna-
listening to that. But
Keep
people
going.
cannot disrespect one another and
I
tell
haven't done
people to shut up.
Okay,
And
I
put
apologize
fingers.
for that.
And
I apologize for Christine.
Or Madonna, can you record
She said she
everything?
has facts,
I
and
wish we'd
I want to
started
hear
at the
them. I want to hear
Let's
what
go.
you
Let's
all
go.
have to
Thank
say.
you.
let's go.
Sean
But
didn't want to,
not
Charlotte didn't want to stay anyway. She already
attacking
announced she's
each other.
sitting in an hour.
I said I was coming
Told you
to
that an hour.
Yeah, that's okay.
respectfully.
We weren't told that. We weren't told we had any time
Nope,
limit.
we were not.
I have the email. Anyway, go ahead.
Bye.
All right, let's talk about our 503C.
Madonna, can you?
It's real important that we discuss this because I'm gonna use a synonym. Retta, I don't
So
like you
what's
like
in,
that.
what's
Here,
in
you want
George
to sit over here by
Musterman's
me,
book?
Retta? That way we can all
Musterman's
see
book.
the
That's
board.
all the covenants, rules, restrictions, everything filed at the courthouse, including the one that you filed in 2014. That's George Musterman right there. Okay, so that's very important to realize that that's all filed at court, legally recorded.
We know, we went and sent you to the court.
Yeah, well, I know. I got you in there. Yeah, I got you in there, so it's all good. So.
Please attend. You'll bless,
She
be
wants to
glad.
go. She said, she announced when she walked in the door.
Okay, we're gonna
That's
continue.
all right.
Well, we
We're
have
gonna-
other
We don't care.
things to do.
It's
We've
fine.
got another meeting to get ready
That's
for.
fine.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Let's talk about, I'm going to call them smug. I have a hard time saying smooth management group.
No, just say SMG.
Well, I'll try, but, all right, SMG,
Thanks for staying.
I
Thank
am
you.
Well,
very concerned about the books. I have run a 503C organization with 5,000 members. I run it as a business, not as a little party thing or whatever, or however, I don't know how else to describe it. But when you have a 503C, you have to have money in the bank, money in reserves, and you have to have budget money, and you have to have a checking account. You have to have it all lined up. And the books I've seen, which I've only been able to get for 1 year, which is a violation to the Missouri Condominium Act,
actually, every December, or every November, when we send out your new fees, and again in May, when we send out your ballots, you've been getting the December of the prior month.
we haven't been. We have, none of us have. None of us have.
Oh, that's.
It's
Because I saw
Laura,
But
you have to work in a cuss and swear. No.
But Jairus is trying to get into more detail.
I'm trying to find out what's going on.
Than
My
just the
concern
year-end
is,
statement,
my concern is,
which is
A $1 million business, which this is a $1 million nonprofit business, should have $1.2 or $3.2 million in the bank. We have $465,000 the last time I saw. Now, I know somebody said money was put in. I'm wondering if the dues were put in and things like that. I don't care. But what I saw in all the books was $465,000, and there's $68,000 in the checking account.
Well, did you look at the May meeting I went through, because knowing that we didn't have the books, I did do the best numbers we had for December. We used the April 30th checking account statements.
Okay.
And in that, I read through and published in the Gazette the fact that we have about $671,000.
Okay, so were those dues money added to it, or was that the extra money added to it? There's differences. I know you sometimes do taxes or something, but you can't go and contribute the monthly
That's
assessments
income.
into it. Okay, so it's the total.
That's the total in our
Okay.
checking accounts and our reserve
Okay,
accounts.
so the problem with that is that I'm seeing when SMG goes through, almost what I have is this entire book is all the books that I've been able to get, all the information. I asked for 21, didn't get them. I asked for this year,
Wait,
didn't get them.
Who did you ask?
I called SMG
Well, they don't have them. That was AMC.
for this year and for last year.
21.
For 21,
No,
yes.
SMG took over January 4th of 21. It's in the book.
January 4th of 22.
No, the dates are on here. I have dates on here.
No.
They only started with us in January.
Well, then all right, SMG's made a lot of mistakes then, let me tell you that.
And
Their
there's
date
no
is,
argument there, but
there's one date that at the beginning of these books that is January 4th of 21 is what it's on this document from SMG.
let's see.
I have to find it right now, Laura. I will, I don't, I wasn't having to look for that date, but it is on one of these documents here. All right, the other side of it is that all these budgets that they keep putting forth and all these monthly things that keep going, there's 0, 0, 0, 0. Here's one, all zeros until the end of May, and then all of a sudden we have bills. So January, February, March, and April is zeroed out.
What year is that?
This is last year, 22.
Okay, had you been here and been coming to the meetings or looking at the gazettes, we were talking about that. We've been through, we're on our 4th property manager, the first
You
one
mean at SMG.
at SMG.
Okay, so we still have a bad company to begin with. Okay, and so you've gone through 4 people in one organization in less than a year and a half. Okay, I'm just reiterating what you just said.
SMG has.
Right, but that influences this.
I get that, but we have no control over who they fire and who they hire.
I understand that.
And
But,
their
Or who they
turnover.
assign to
It's
us.
just-
but when they
it's
lack,
an indicator.
when they lack that person who can't carry through, that's going to mess up everything.
And they have messed up the financials.
There's a lot. Now, I want to know where the books closed out last year, because I checked the IRS website and they were not closed yet.
For 22.
They're not
We
closed.
them last week.
So they were not closed in time, number one, which is supposed to be April 15th. And
So
they're
you have
not
an extension.
till
for the
October, and they weren't filed in October. Business
What?
business get extensions to October 15th.
That's like 3 months away.
No, I'm talking last year. They didn't file it. They haven't recorded anything. So the books aren't closed.
Are you talking about for 21, they didn't record anything?
21 is not recorded, 22 is not recorded.
Well, 21 would be
21's
AMC,
on AMC.
Yeah.
but
And they.
I'm
we
just
have
trying
our
to follow.
taxes
Yeah,
done-
that's fine, but
we
there's
have our
nothing on the
taxes
IRS
done.
website showing that our tax number, our nonprofit 503C, is recorded and filed. And that's very important, because what's going to happen is we can lose our tax status. If we lose our tax status and not become a nonprofit then, because we haven't filed paperwork, it's going to get real messy. I'm sure you deal with things with your child, doing all that stuff. Yes, Laura?
So, excuse me, Laura Farkas was trying to explain why the 2021 books were not closed.
No, 2021 closed. It took a little bit longer in January because of all the transferring of funds and leaving some stuff until our last checks came through. But I think those were done before the end of January, and we
Yeah.
filed taxes in April.
I can't find them on this website.
Well-
And I'm just letting you know what I can't find.
We
so.
filed taxes for
Okay.
21.
I've just been asked to analyze this stuff, and that's all I'm doing. I'm not here as a realtor. I'm here as an analyst, and I'm just trying to figure this out because I'm very concerned, because I've seen organizations go bankrupt very, very quickly, and that could happen here. because we have so many capital expenses that we need to be doing here and can't be done because we don't have the funds for it.
That's not why they're not getting done.
Why aren't they getting
Why
done?
aren't they?
We can't get bids.
You can't, what?
We can't get bids.
Well, let me tell you about a 5013 nonprofit organization. If you can't get bids, then you're not asking in the right places.
Okay, I'm not gonna get into a bunch of things.
No, I'm just
One thing.
making a comment.
One thing went out for bid. We got 3 bids. We're waiting on the 4th. You know what the bids were?
Well, what were
No
they for?
bid.
What were
No
they?
bid, no bid.
And do you know why?
What were they for?
For what was the
That
purpose?
doesn't matter.
Yeah, it
Yeah, it does.
It does.
And why would you not say?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, no, I don't wanna get into that, but it's a no bid, it's a bid, no bid, no bid. You know
Okay.
why? Because of,
Lack of workers?
lack of workers, mainly lack of workers.
Okay, what else?
That was it, mainly lack of workers.
Did you happen to talk or put out a request for bid to the people who used to do the snow
Yes, we did.
under AMC?
And
What did they
yeah,
say?
They
No
said
bid.
no bid.
And do you know
we
why
heard
they
from
said
them.
no?
So
Yep.
do you know why?
What do you mean you heard from them?
Do you know
They
why
contact
they
with
Do you
us.
know
didn't?
why?
Oh, because Smith didn't pay their bills on time?
Yeah.
Yes, that's it. It took them 14 months
So what do you?
to get paid.
We
No,
can't
they
make them
didn't.
bid.
The-
Well, let me,
They told us it was.
according to our rules and regulations, and I know, Laura, you've been involved with 20 years now in the organization, because you were when we came, because we helped you with the lakes and all the addendums, we helped you with the information boxes. So I know you've been here on the board for 20 years. That's why I asked when you guys came and how long you've been on the board. I kind of knew.
I've been on the board
You're
2
brand new,
months.
you're brand new.
Yeah, 2 months.
And
She's
please
only
don't-
been on the board a year.
Yeah, I understand that. That's why I asked, because I didn't know. And I didn't know you two, so that's why I prefaced that. So that's why. But because of that, being on so long and whatnot, there's been lots of problems over the years, and people just don't want to deal with it anymore. And that's all part of it. But we have found organizational people, workers, that have contacted several of us in the development, and they're very willing, but they want changes, and they want changes here. Now, Smith Management Group is not a good property manager. And I know you know that. You just admitted a little bit ago you have lots of problems. They need to be fired, and they need to be removed immediately. Because, and I want to show you why. This is what they're doing. And if you do taxes, is that, I remember do you still do taxes anymore or not?
I work with the taxi people.
Okay,
I
so
actually
you-
do taxes.
So you're familiar with some things. Okay, this is just a simple little outline. These people, Smug, takes it out of one reserve, flips it over to the other today. Oh, let's put that money back, let's real quick. And it's all throughout all the books. And they shove it back over here. So they take 10 today, they shove 10 back. Oh, we're going to take 14 today. That's the next day on the books. Then, oh, let's do this different. Oh, we need some more. So they slip this back, and all of a sudden, $24,000 is coming out of reserves, all within 3 to 4 days. It happens every month. And sometimes it's 70,000, sometimes it's 20,000. This is just one example of 1 month. You can't do that. First of all, there's a charge every time this happens. So we're paying for theirs. There's a charge every time somebody calls in on the town square, calls in overnight. Do you know how much these charges are on the weekends? 3 times what they are.
What
This-
charges are you talking about?
when you call in and make, they're all documented on all these things, all their charges. They charge you for everything. Do you know what they charge you for an envelope? An envelope.
Yes?
How much?
No, it's $1 or something.
This one is $1.50. It's 5 cents. This one is 75 cents, and it's 4 cents. 2,500% upcharge. This company is not a nonprofit. They're out for, let's see, I went into their history, and they're into about 150% profit in a year. We're a nonprofit. We're not supposed to have people like that working for us. It's in the bylaws. George Musterman put it in the bylaws. Yeah.
What's your suggestion, y'all?
Well, we need to have a group that researches and finds a better management company that wants to work with a nonprofit. And there are people out there. There are people that are a nonprofit that do that for nonprofits. I work with them all the time. That's part of my business when I facilitate things and do. That's my job, to go find this stuff.
But they're not property management companies.
Yeah, they are. There are nonprofit ones, and they do it to teach people. They do it all the time. See, the thing is, when you're isolated and kind of stuck, and this is not derogatory, this is just fact, and I found this. If you're kind of stuck here and you can't be out here and be aware of everything else going on, you don't know that it's out there until you find it. Just like Laura, the other Laura, it's hard to different. She knew about free trees. How many thousands of dollars did we pay for trees? We could have had them all free. Yeah.
But the free trees are this big.
No, there are.
No, they're 3 to 4 inches.
And
you never
I can
shared?
say, I started a letter to the community, actually asking, kind of what's your skill set, where would you be able to help
I
out?
recall that. I recall.
Well, that's what we're trying to
Um,
accomplish here, is because that needs to be done. We also, when we moved in here, and I don't think you were part of it, Laura, but you were here. When we moved in here, we were handed a directory. And in that directory of this development, Ruthie had it, that it had everybody's name and their phone number and what their specialty was.
As long as I've been on the board, we've never provided.
Well, Ruthie was one of the original ones, so it would have been
it
before
was very
2000.
old. It was very
It was
old
like
back
2000.
Because we got too much feedback that owners didn't want their names and phone numbers.
But now we can do email, and people are happy to do it, because we have gotten over 300 emails from people, and I actually have them saved on both my phones and on a thumb drive, all the comments we've had. I've been working on this project. I'm going to call this a project.
300 emails from different people?
Yeah.
So
Emails, voicemails, text messages, everything.
So every person in here emailed you
Just about, except for the couple that are in the nursing homes.
Yeah, I just got one this morning.
that
Yeah.
live here now?
Yes, they live here now. That includes the homes.
You know what?
Yeah.
One other tiny thing, I'm sorry to interrupt. Jairus has been doing all the observations and analysis, trying to be productive on this, and I have been so busy and focused on my jobs that I haven't been able to get into things as deeply as she and the others have in here. I love this place. Everybody loves the place. But me, as a semi-outsider, I'm saying what a lot of other residents are saying in here is the money is disappearing and nothing's getting done like it did before.
It didn't get done before. That's why
Well,
everything's a wreck.
Things were done in a different manner before.
Yeah.
You have to agree to that. And
And poorly done in many cases.
yeah, but things were.
It appeared they were getting
It
done.
appeared that more was getting done, and there was more attention paid to the homeowners and the condo owners. The attention was there, and right now a lot of them feel that they're out there and you guys are in here. And I don't mean, I'm just saying here and there, but that's how they're relaying it to us, that you guys have excluded all them from every, Lori, I'm just telling you, we have
It calls all the time.
yeah.
So
But
what
you
I
know
don't
what?
understand, we publish things. Last year's little expedition into the petition, we have to communicate. So we set up meetings. 2 people ever came and asked.
Well, that's
But you didn't entertain talking specifically about the petition.
there's
Well,
different.
that's
They refused to give us the name.
51% of the people.
It's not a
said- and
petition
there were
if you don't give
names.
them the names. You
But
don't
you
give the government-
refused them.
Later, we
You
didn't need them. By then we had
refused.
heard from 30 people that said, I'm sorry, when you get that list,
About
place
the
my name on it.
petition, we've asked for the petition. Let's talk about the petition.
Okay, I'm not involved in that one, so that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
We asked for the petition when it was presented at the meeting, it wasn't given to us. Then, we had a meeting with Pam Bell, and you were supposed to be there and didn't show up, and.
Who, Madonna was supposed to be?
No, I was.
Oh.
Christine.
I wasn't.
And then 4 other people. And we sat around the table just like this. We talked. Laura had a letter generated that was going to go out to all the homeowners. And they all read it. And they said, I think this letter needs to be softened up. We talked about what was going on, what the petition was about. We again asked, could we have the petition? There has to be a verbiage above the petition of the signatures. And they didn't present anything.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
Please let Christine, who was directly involved in it, not receiving it the way you did, but directly involved, please let her speak.
And that petition was there that night and given to you, and it was refused. You said you did not want it.
We didn't need it.
Right.
Actually, they held us
Didn't
hostage
need
until
it.
we scheduled the meeting.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
We did.
Because
You were not
contrary to
getting-
some board members' views, any homeowner can ask to put an agenda item on for a meeting. They do not have to wait to the owners
That
forum
was
as
the
a Q&A.
petition.
They can come forward
They can
and
ask, but it
say,
needs
we
to
would
have a
like to
motion."
talk about that. And that didn't happen.
It was a
You're
really,
talking about
The petition, no, that's.
yeah, the petition was
Because
an
we have to have a
opportunity
subject.
for
Take your
people,
subject with 3 sentences.
it was an opportunity for people to express their interest and their dissatisfaction with this SMG. And we had 51% of the residents who signed it, who said, and they knew what they were signing, because right there at the top of it, you even signed it. On the
There was nothing
top,
at the top
yes
when I
it
signed
was.
it.
Yes it
I
was.
went on what you told me. There was nothing at the top of it.
Oh,
was
I have your
something at the
signature
top.
on it.
Yeah, when I signed it, there was nothing at the top.
No, I have your signature
You
with it
told
on the
me
top of
you
it.
came
On the
to my
top of
door.
every page.
You came to my door with a clipboard.
I'm sorry I didn't bring it, but I can certainly bring you another copy because it does have every
It's neither here nor there.
So
That's in the
anyway,
past. That's in the
Okay.
past. We need to move
Yeah.
on and only move forward
Yeah.
professionally
That's
and
right,
calmly.
that's what we're gonna do.
But I will
Thanks
get
for
you.
So let-
explaining that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I did not participate in that. I try, to be honest, I try not to get involved in things. I like to participate, which I tried several times, and I was shot down out of the blue like before. But anyway, this.
Just before we move on.
Okay, go ahead, Laura.
Because the petition is a sore spot with a number of homeowners, do we need to clarify that, in fact, the wording of the petition was right above all the names before, so that we can move on from there? It doesn't matter now.
It doesn't
But-
matter.
But I don't think it's fair to keep saying, well, people signed something and they didn't know what they were
They
signing. There
told
was
us
no
they didn't
wording.
know what they were
Well,
signing. They
that
were signing
may-
blank papers.
Let me
They got different stories.
let me say
depending
something.
on who approached them.
I deal with this all the time in my professional life. Adults learn in threes. You have to show people 3 times, a minimum of 3 times, what, who, when, everything. They also read in a Z, so they read across the top, they skip the middle, and read the bottom. That's a fact of life. And you have to go over and do things 3 times, 3 times, 3 times. So that's probably part of the problem. Plus our age limit, our ages in here, that's another problem. And I think that people just are the last 3 years have just been terrible.
Angry.
Terrible. I'm going to say that. Terrible. Beyond anger. Because people are shooting people, killing people, beating them up, all that kind of terrible.
Absolutely.
Let's just say
Yeah,
terrible.
they are.
And that has also influenced in here because people are hating people.
Yes.
People don't want to be with people. People don't want to participate with people because
Yes.
they hate you. And that's the fact of life. And we've heard that, and I've seen it, and I've realized it. And when I came in, nobody waves anymore. And, I can't believe I come and go. I come every other week and come and go. I drive back and forth to Pennsylvania 762 miles one way. And I did yesterday. And not one person would wave to me in here. And I even had the window down and waved to them out the window. That tells me the demeanor.
All the time.
Where's the fellowship?
Doesn't-
Like
yeah.
it used to be,
Anyway, let's go on. All right, let's talk some more about smug. I'm sorry, smug.
No.
Now, these are my concerns with SMG. I know you've got them, but let's go over them because you need to fire them. And we need to find a new company.
We've already announced, what was it, March, January? We asked the residents to ask their friends if they had a management company that they liked.
Yeah, that's not telling smug that they fired.
Well, don't we need to have one in
So,
place though before
but
we just go move
because
on?
we had pretty much ruled out all the other
All right,
options.
so what happened then?
Well, the ones that we got, somebody Googled and didn't have any references.
Okay.
I think we got 1 or 2 from contractors.
I'll tell you what.
So we've got a short list.
I'll make a deal with you guys since I facilitate things and do this for a living.
I
Because
need to say one thing.
okay, go ahead.
Okay.
I have started
Okay, that's good.
looking and investigating, researching property management companies. Researching all over the place. I have talked to a couple trustees at other properties. there was one that just moved from one management company to another, and gave me information on the old property management company, what they were doing. I got all that information. I have started. I have talked to the other board members, told them I started, and said that I will get a committee together, but I want to get the preliminary stuff first. Looking them up online, looking them up on B&B, looking at what other trustees say about their property management.
So have you thought, and I'm sorry, I don't
Go ahead,
mean
Laura.
this to sound negative, but have you, the subject came up at the communication meeting and you heard it. So have you thought that perhaps getting the team together first may be a better approach, because people might have a better idea in terms of putting out an RFP or otherwise? And just before, so that's a question, maybe instead of you doing a bunch of stuff first, maybe you get people working together first so it can move faster. I do want to say that I personally submitted 3 names. They were not Google search.
I have them.
So I do not like that you
But
said
when
someone
we
just
said
said,
we
but pardon
wanted-
me, let me finish. I submitted 3 names. I asked someone who had been in property management but now is no longer, to give me names of people that she would recommend for our situation. She gave me those names. Now, did I go out and say, okay, but I need to know who the board is and why do they do this? That silly list, and I'm using that and I'm saying that, but that silly list of this is what you have to give us was not what was needed. If I give names of someone that is recommended,
You
they can
did
certainly
not
go into the
explain
pot.
who recommended them.
I
how
did
you
to the
got them.
trustee, I gave them to.
I have the names. Yes, I have the names that you gave. I have the sheet of paper that you gave. to
With your
whoever you
vast
gave it to.
experience here, can I ask you something as a semi-naive resident? I'd really appreciate it, especially the length of time that we really appreciate everything you've done. It's a hard rock to crack here. Out of just being naive, what is wrong with the association we had before? It looked like they were on time and smooth.
It looked like that to some people.
To some people. I
Well,
can
why were you
personally
leaving
say,
for 20
it
years?
took me
That I don't know.
3
I was
years.
on here,
I had a
was on
major issue of a waterfall coming off my back deck, and it damaged both my upper and lower doors. Took me 3 years and the threat of a lawyer to finally get them to fix it.
Yeah, a lot of,
They called several times.
Oh, kind of like Jeff Lynn.
yeah, Jeff
now.
Innes has that problem right now. It's a mess.
And he hasn't been able
And
to
he hasn't been able to
repair
get it
for more
fixed,
than a
yeah.
year.
The construction, let me talk about the construction because I know a little bit about this. The construction here in 1980, 81, 82, when these were started, things were done very, very differently at that time. They did not use the flashing. They did not use the pressure-treated plates that they're put up now. And that has caused a lot of problems because of the elevations of our units. Being this was a golf course, and we're down like this all the time, you're going to have, wherever water flows, it's the least resistance path. So because of that, that's the problem that we're all having. We had it, replaced our deck and porch for $40,000 in January. We had to do it all. We even got the siding and
I'll
everything.
get ready to have mine done.
$40,000,
I
yeah.
got a recommendation.
But we have it, and the thing is, once that was ripped out and replaced, now we will never have a problem again. But every year we had a problem, and so I got up in there because I know construction. I deal with construction every day. You pull that bottom plate out on your deck, you slide a panel up in there, you caulk it, you seal it, you do it, and make it come over the lip of your door, and it'll stop. And that's what has to be done, and that's the cheap fix, the easy fix, and it works. And that's what needs to be done. Now, by having workers in here that know that, instead of people that don't know what they're doing, because I talked to one of them, he didn't know which end was up. If we could find diligent people, and this is one of the workers that was working on one of the decks. He didn't even have his name on the truck, but he said he was working for Autumn Lakes. I don't know.
No,
No.
we don't do that.
I know that, but what people say and what they do, okay. So there's a lot of fixes, but those fixes can be remedied by getting charitable people in here that are nonprofits. And what I do is I call all the labor people, I call all the unions, I call all the high schools, all the VOTECs, All those people have to have jobs. They have to do it in order to pass.
Right.
And they have to do it perfectly, or they don't pass.
I have 2 nephews that went.
And that's what needs to be going on in here, because then all we have
Who's
to...
gonna manage that?
I will be very happy to help you. I do it all the time.
Who's paying
No,
the
who's
liability
gonna
insurance?
manage it and pay the?
We have project managers that live in this development that know how to do that, and they're willing to volunteer their
So we're
time.
gonna be self-managed, is what you're suggesting?
Well, and isn't the
No,
part
no,
of this
no.
Smith
She's saying that she knows
groups?
management companies.
Well, there's
that are
a
that
property
deal
manager,
with it.
there's a contractor that will help us out, and he's professional and he's licensed. And the thing is, he could be the overseer. What would happen is Autumn Lakes would only have to pay for supplies, not these $200,000 and $300,000 deals here, which are ridiculous. And the people, they are not all guys, girls too, that come and do the work will get their accreditation. They'll resolve our issue. We're nonprofit, which is the most important part.
So we can do it.
And we can do it. And they're nonprofit because they're learning. It's school. And it solves two situations right there.
It's a win-win.
And that's why we need to be doing that stuff.
Okay, so I'm lost here.
Okay.
Who's gonna pay the insurance?
We have insurance that covers liability, and the schools do. All the labor unions.
And who's gonna manage all this?
Well, that,
The the project manager that we have living in this development is willing to do it. He's licensed.
And who's that?
Can we? No, can't. Okay, can't yet until we talk about some other things. Okay.
Wow, okay.
Because.
You wanted information from us.
Yes, because.
Well, we're
I
giving you
can't-
information.
I'm giving information. I cannot divulge that person's name.
Yeah. I am contributing the
Selective
information.
information.
I'm
No.
contributing it now.
No, wait, it's
I'm
not
just
there.
saying,
He's not
it
here.
is.
He's not here.
It's okay.
And he is one of the many people who have tried to be involved before and
was shot down.
And was shot down and told his skills in project management would not be helpful on the board. And that it probably would be better if he didn't put his name in the hat.
So going
We're
from that.
always out recruiting people. I wanna know.
But
when
Laura,
we
let
turn
me
all
say,
these people
Laura,
out.
I'm going to tell you, I love all of you. I'm not here against anybody, and I swear to God, I'm not. That's not me. I'm a Christian. I believe in treating everybody like it is, and don't shrug your shoulders on me.
Well,
Don't do that.
There's been a lot of speaking around.
There's been no. It's all been out on the
It's
line.
been on Facebook.
There's been
I
no.
don't, I don't do
Facebook.
social.
Well,
media.
that's
Nothing to hide.
Gosh.
There's nothing. There's been no
Chat
sneaking
with your
around whatsoever.
neighbors.
The only thing I did was I contacted 7 organizations to find out who, what, when, and where, and things that can be done or can't be done. And I did that, and that's the only thing I did on my phones. And I have those recorded, so I have that on my phone. Anyway, you guys you've been here, and Charlotte's been here forever. She's been here 10 years on the board. There's a caveat in the condo docs that you're only supposed to be on the board for 3 years and rotate out. George Mustard, yes it is. I've got it in all those locations.
bylaws.
In the bylaws.
Can I say something about
Yes.
that?
Uh-huh.
So putting caps on board positions.
Correct.
Retta and I both personally know people that were on boards, and they had term limits. They have no board because once nobody was
Well,
running.
the thing is,
So once those term limit boards were up, they had no board.
Really?
Their
One
place went to
doesn't
crap.
necessarily
Interesting.
follow the other.
yeah, the problem is we have people in here want change. They want to get better. They want to get back to things. They would like to see a new board come on board. Reason being is because of the 2 parties, and Laura, you are one of them, Charlotte's the other one. You've been on there too long, and they feel that they're getting bogged down. And we have that from people. They want fresh blood in here, and I think that's the only way we can do it is moving things around. Now, you can come back in a year, but you've been on for 20 years. And it's time, and George Musterman put it specifically in our bylaws, 3-year terms, and then you rotate off.
No, it just says you're elected for a 3-year term.
And then you leave, and then you can, it's in all those docs over there. Anyway,
We have people who are willing, and I'm just going to say this, it's not going to sound pretty. We have people who are willing to step forward and be trustees and do the leadership roles that are needed. They will not do it if they are the odd man out, if they're the one person with the current board.
And we're not
They
talking
will
about Mark
not do
Abbott.
it.
So we're not talking about him.
We're not talking about Mark.
He's not doing anything.
Well, it doesn't matter,
No,
that's another.
we have half a dozen people who are more than willing to step up.
So what you're saying, you want to abolish all of us?
No, not abolish you, just, it's time to move on, so that we can bring new blood in, and then have you, if you want to come back
Hey,
in.
I've been here a year and a half. Have them step up, they can have my position.
Okay, well,
I've been here 5 minutes.
no,
When
we
I
just need to
resign,
move things
I will
along.
not resign in a meeting like this.
It's interesting to hear what you said after the 3 years, you can't replace, it's over.
That was somebody else,
With-
that's
with-
another board.
with-
No,
with
no,
another
that was two
situation.
people we know. She knows somebody and I know somebody.
Yeah, I haven't,
That
never
was the
experienced that before in all the
situation
HOAs
that-
I've
I mean,
worked
we've
with.
seen in the past, nobody runs.
Yes. Let me go on. I
Like,
want to point out a couple
nobody
things
runs.
with this management thing. Has an audit been done on the books with SMG?
No,
Okay, it needs to be. I want to tell you why.
Or
Let me
with
finish.
AMC.
we've done them, they were done a few times at AMC.
Okay, this
But
one has got to
When
be,
we closed them out and we were done with AMC, was an audit done?
No,
okay. We got to do this organization. I'll tell you why. What I'm seeing. I am not a tax accountant. My dad's a CPA, but I'm not. I refuse to take his company over, so I'm seeing a lot of mistakes, a lot of things. They're hiring out overpriced people on their bids. They are going through our capital funds like water. They have a credit card. How in the heck?
no, they don't.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
No, they don't. There would have been one payment back in early '22
I need my
for the
glasses.
credit card that AMC
I have to get my
had
glasses.
that the guys used. Smith, we do not have a credit card that Smith's using.
Well, then, do you know what all these credit card payments are then?
Show me.
Sure. Okay, let me find them all. I didn't
Oh,
have.
credit card payments on the owner's paying their condo fees on the credit card.
No. No, that's HCA. HCA is a payment in by owners. I do it all the time with the other ones. It's HCH. Okay, let me see where I'm at. These are jobs.
Like, because Brett and I are even thinking, but now you guys are attacking us.
This
saying
lockbox,
we just need to
Laura,
be off the
what's the
board.
lockbox on here that's always showing up? Do you know?
That's when people mail their payments in, it goes through the lockbox and they record the checks and process the payments.
So it's here, the lockbox here?
It's in Kansas City, I think,
Okay.
wherever you're mailing your payments.
Okay, because I didn't know.
Mine's set up on auto pay.
Yeah, that's an HCA. Yeah, that's that. Okay. Credit card payment, here's a whole list. Credit card payment, credit card payment, credit card payment, all the way down
That are
through.
not being done. It can put us at risk with
There's the dates.
any number of organizations.
Credit card payment, credit card payment, credit card payment.
And every one of us is a
Criminal.
criminal.
Right.
And
Those are
No, this is their outlay of
I
cash.
would love for
They're
you
paying a credit card bill.
to be.
That's an outlay of cash.
Do
This
I
is the
think
ledger. This
you
is
are
what's going
taking
out.
With what's
These
wrong with
numbers
this board? Maybe.
are kind
I
of
don't
things.
know.
Yeah, but they're
I
counting
don't know
that they're in
I've
credit
been
card.
here 2 months.
They're paying with my credit
You
card
have
when they
to
take
earn
my
us.
money.
Okay, I hope so. I hope it's not that they have the credit card and they're
We
running,
want to work together.
because I've seen organizations do that and then they embezzle money through the credit
No,
cards. That's why I was
the
going
next-
to bring that up. So,
Sort of a
okay.
tax return.
All right, so we know SMG is bad. Should we move on from there?
Well, let me just say,
And Shelburne.
so I think we explained when we had the meeting last year after the petition, that part of the problem is, I mean, we know there are a lot of problems with Smith. And we've been working our asses off trying to get things done
Okay.
and keep things and get things straightened out.
Okay.
There's no way we could have moved at the end of the year. First of all, we didn't have any place to go. Second
With
of
the
all,
property management company.
no other management. Yeah,
I-
we didn't
that's
have
what I
a
mean, but that-
property management company.
Right, that's what I mean. Just clarify.
Our owner accounts were so screwed up.
They are. They
Well,
still
They're
are.
a whole lot better. They're a whole lot
They
better.
are real bad.
They're a whole lot better. And those were so screwed up, and had we moved, there wouldn't have been any history or any way to ever get those straightened out. And our financials were so screwed up.
They are still screwed up.
Well, I've been working my ass off on
I
that.
know.
I have been through every invoice.
I would like to see that. I'd like to work with you on that and try and get this year's at least and see what we can figure out. But there's a whole lot of money that is being spent that should not be spent on a 503C.
Okay, at this point, I've been through every invoice for 22,
Okay?
and we finally got to the point where felt we could close 22. I have been through all the invoices between January and March, and given them corrections, and they're supposed to be working on those. They were supposed to.
Now, who did you give to get corrections, SMG or the contractors? Who's making those corrections?
They're general ledger corrections.
Okay.
So they're
Dallas.
going back to Smith. Well,
They're in Dallas. They're in Richardson, Texas, by Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. Yeah.
is where their accounting people are.
Right. Mhm.
But everything has to go back and forth, and then when they come back, I get to go through and see if they did the credit where I told them and the debit where I told them, and then I tell them all the things that didn't get done or they were wrong. And this is what's been going on for months, trying to
Yeah.
get.
And you know, every time you talk to one of those people, we are charged for it. We're charged for it.
There's no charge.
Every time there's a call, everything we're charged. Yeah, there is. They're going through boot because they have.
The invoices.
The-
I know it's on.
Every time there's a charge. Every time, I guarantee you. And I can see it. That's why we got to do an audit, and we need it done now. Because I think there's a lot of loss of money. There's a lot of loss of money here that shouldn't be for our organization, and that's why we have no money in reserves.
We have
You should-
$400,000.
You should have $2.2 million. You should be 1.5 to 2.5 times what your budget. But we do $1.1 million a year. We should have that much in there. Yeah.
We have as much money in reserves as we expected to have, as we plan to have, as I can verify. However, I also haven't had a reserve report for a year and a half.
No reserve what?
Like a usage report on the reserves.
Yeah, it
Like
comes and
what's in
goes.
what bucket.
Yeah, it's 10, 15, 20, 50, 71,000, 106,000, 186,000. Yeah, I ratted them all up. They come and go constantly. That's wrong. That's wrong. It'd be like I'm going into your savings account every time I need some money, and that's what they're doing. And it shouldn't be, because all of the jobs should be figured out, budgeted, and done, and they should be within certain term limits. When you do a 503C, that budget, I'm just going to use a real quick example. Say it's $100 to do something. The most this person over here that's charging you that $100 can do, according to the federal tax laws, is 25%. So that would be $25 on 100, not 2,500% on an envelope. And that's the problem with them, because they're all spread out. They're a big organization, and they're taking money right and left. Go ahead.
AMC charges us like this too.
I
Maybe
didn't see an
not-
envelope for $1.50.
Probably not as much, but they were charging us for copies and they were charging us for everything.
Yeah, but not as much as these. This is the most outrageous property management company, and I've worked with many across the country, across the United States. And this is the most extravagant, worthless company I've ever seen. And I'm being honest, because I deal with this. And it's just, they're raping us. They're raping our money, you know, and that bothers me, because we all work hard for our money. I mean, look, you know, either we're retired or getting retired or whatever, and they are stealing our money from us. And that, nothing aggravates me more than some.
It's not you guys.
It's this.
It's them. It's this.
And this is me, because we have worked. I came from a very, very poor farm family. I worked when I was 6 years old. My money is my money. I worked for it. I earned it. And we earned it. All these people that are retired in here have earned it. And they're stealing our money. And that really bothers
So
me.
you mentioned that you have companies that are nonprofit.
Right.
That are management companies.
Yep.
Could we get
I will
some
go
of
and
those
talk to them
names?
and see if they're willing to come on. They needed some more information, and I'll be happy to do that. I will do my best to help straighten this out. I am not here as a realtor. I'm here as a homeowner. And I swear that. And don't go talking behind my back and sign bang me. I'm not here because she's a realtor and I'm a realtor. I'm here because I'm a homeowner, and we're getting stolen from. So
We don't operate that way.
well, I'm just letting you know. I just want to clarify that, because I am not here. Full disclosure, I am here for us.
It has been over 4 years since I've seen you now, though.
Well, I live here.
Here all the time.
We talk all the
I see
time.
you all the time.
Yeah.
Well, that's your.
It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. So all right, so we're done with SMG. Let's go on to covenants and restrictions. Now, first of all, I did talk to Jim Walsh, and we do have insurance, and we will have insurance as long as somebody doesn't claim roofs are bad because of wear and tear. So that has been taken care of.
Actually, Jim Walsh doesn't handle our claim. He
Pam
handles
does.
off to another. No,
Pam's doing it. I just talked to her. I just got it.
But she's not with Walsh. They
She's
handle-
with the court. I just talked to her. I got it all. Yeah, Pam. She's from Tennessee. Yeah, Pam's handling our account. I got it. And it's Jim Walsh with the cord. I just got it. I just got it. It's in my email today.
Well,
Yeah.
we were informed that they handed us off to another company because he wasn't handling Middle Oak anymore.
No, we're fine. And I made sure of it. Now, do you all realize that we have 3 types of insurance?
Yes.
Okay. Are you aware, Madonna? Okay. Most people don't. They just think that we have this blanket coverage, and you understand why we have 3 forms?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now, there are 3 separate companies under that umbrella that cover that, because you've got a liability, you've got the homeowners, you've got the condos. So there are 3 companies under the one umbrella of Accord. Okay, good. That's done.
Okay,
Yes?
why haven't they changed AMC's name and taken AMC's name off as? Because we were told that's why
On
we
the
weren't getting
COI?
communication. Huh?
On COI. But on the insurance, the actual insurance policy,
changed.
it's changed to
It
SMG.
probably was changed after the fact.
But on the
So,
COI, it still has character.
yeah, it was, she said everything's current. So she's good, and they're going to renew it on November 11th, 1st. So, all right. Sorry, that's my phone over there. I get 300 calls a day. So anyway, all right. I want to talk about the health and welfare and safety of our development here. You all have your responsibilities. Madonna, you are a trustee, correct? Retta, you are a secretary and treasurer.
No.
Okay.
I'm
All
the
right.
treasurer, well, vice president.
You're vice president who's supposed to support the president. The way that it was originally set up, it was supposed to be secretary treasurer, and you know that. So because you were one at one time, you were both, or you did something.
We've never had treasurer because we didn't actually pay the bills. They started calling me treasurer this year so that Smith would talk to me because they only wanted to talk to one person and they wanted everything routed through the president, which made it very difficult to get the financials done. So that's when they started calling me treasurer.
Okay. It's
We've
just,
never-
Even though you were involved in hiring them, they still wouldn't talk to you.
What they,
take a breath. It's okay. We're asking questions. We need to know.
That's- You know.
they want to streamline. I mean, we heard this from the other company, and AMC kind of wanted it too. They don't want 5 different people calling them, potentially on the same thing, giving them different direction. So they want one point of contact. So they would email Shaw. We would do our emails back and forth and yes or no and approve it, and then she would send it back to them. Once we got into the financials, that just wasn't working.
So what were the deciding factors that made you select Smith Management Group as, way back in 2021 to replace AMC as our new property management company?
Good question. I had that same one.
We can't speak on it because we weren't here.
Well,
Yeah, I know.
I will just say, we had that conversation with the people at the meeting after the petition, and we drafted a letter and we sent them all to you. Plus, in the letter that went out when we announced, we explained why. Why we left AMC. AMC was a problem. They weren't being supportive of the board. We weren't getting stuff we needed. They weren't keeping up with technology. There were a lot of problems. They were definitely playing favorites. The guys.
What do you mean playing favorites? You mean of the owners in here, or?
Yes.
I'm just clarifying because that's a mute point.
Rob and
Okay.
Dave were much more likely to go and fix your stuff if you were one of the people that gave out Christmas cards or gift cards. And there had other people that were crabby, so they didn't like to go. They wouldn't go fix their stuff. So for every person that was happy with them, we were hearing from 2 people that weren't happy with them.
So it was a split. It was a split situation. You had good people and bad people.
So
So the big thing is
we
they
had
were
narrowed
not
it down
one.
to 2 companies based on feedback and experiences. Shaw dealt with a lot of the different property management companies when she was buying and selling, talked to other realtors about problems with the various property management companies. So it came down to 2 of them, and we.
And who was the other one?
CPM. And
They do a lot of commercial.
we talked to both of them, and She and I talked to them initially just to see if they could handle anything this size or what we were looking for. And then we had meetings, each of them had meetings with the rest of the trustees and got to ask their questions. And
Were they vetted? Did you do a complete background search on them and what they did or didn't do? No.
we talked to references.
No, vetting is beyond talking. It's digging deep into it. Because then you find out if they've had any charges against them, any embezzling going on, any misappropriation of funds. Because they are in several states, they can say they're perfectly fine here, and their corporate headquarters, which is in Richardson, Texas, could be high and dry and full of crap. Excuse my language, but that is not unsavory to say, because I think I know who they are in Texas, and I've had to deal with them in properties I've dealt with there. So that's why I'm asking if they were vetted and actually dug into. You can't just talk to people anymore. Hey, Laura, you're a great person. I'm going to hire you. Retta, I think you're terrible. I'm not going to use you. That's what happens. It just depends upon who, and I'm not being mean or anything. That's how it works. And property managers lie. I can prove it. They lie.
Well,
just to get the business. So that's why I wondered.
So you had 2 people, or did you have more people put in bids, more companies put in bids? That it
I
came
have
down
to leave.
to
I have to
2?
go get my daughter.
Okay.
So,
All right.
Thank you.
We'll
for
see you
being
later.
here.
Yeah. Thank you.
You know,
Thank
I
you.
mean, I would like to talk with you.
Well, we will.
Before
I'll be glad
Madonna,
to talk to you tomorrow or something.
before Madonna leaves, what's your plan for this evening? I mean, we're not going to do this with the whole crowd
No,
here.
we're not. Absolutely.
We don't want to do this. What we would like to see happen is that all of us work together and that you possibly change so that we can get new people in here. And I have reasons for that. And we have people that are willing to step up to the plate and be interim people. We just need to get the hostility and the nastiness out of this Autumn Lakes. This is horrible. And it's really better here to save face. And I know you two are new. I'm sorry, I don't know you very well, but the attitude in Autumn Lakes from all the emails and voicemails and texts I've had is we have to have a change in the board. And in order to change in the board, we need to change the board, have an interim board, and all of us together figure out the problems and move forward. And there's a lot of problems in here, and there's going to be some harsh ones if somebody turns something in that I have records of. So I'm just telling you, we need to change the board. Just do a good faith estimate of resignation tonight or something like that, and we will support you on that.
It won't happen tonight. This is not the process for getting people off the board.
Well, it can be, but we don't want it to be that way.
Well, if you willingly resign, if
Let
you
me just say,
understand.
I personally feel like I have worked my ass off.
Well, that's why it's time for you to go. Go have fun.
I have to go get
Okay.
Tricia.
All right.
you.
We'll see you tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There is nobody that could do what I do right now.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah, I could do it.
Oh,
But I'm not going to do it.
no.
I don't want to do it.
No.
No.
What I'm saying is the level of detail in all these invoices, they're not split correctly. They're not booked correctly.
We have accountants here that are willing to do it. We've already contacted them, and
And
they
we-
live in this development.
And
So
we
don't
should
smug
hire-
off, Laura.
No.
Please open your mind, and please, listen, honey. I know what it's like to be doing something for 20 years. I've done it. I was just like you and Charlotte. I call her Charlotte because her name is Charlotte and it's registered Charlotte everywhere. I have done that, and I had to give up. I was president of everything. I was #1 agent everywhere. In 2 states, I had to learn to delegate and I had to learn to give up. And you know what? It was the best thing I could have done. You know why? Because I was blindsided from all this and not this. And it made a huge difference. And you know what? Everybody quit hating me. Everybody hated, all this. And then all of a sudden, look what we can do now. And they came and asked me questions, and I was very willing to help. And you know what? I'm on the backside. I do advisory stuff for all of them because I know my stuff, and I've done it, just like you. And it can happen. And the thing is, it takes a whole new plate. And you can start enjoying life, and you don't have to look out the door and window, who's going to hate me today?
Everyone totally appreciates the hard work you have done. We talk about that all the time.
I know what it's like, believe me. So
Actually, it wasn't bad until about 2 years ago.
COVID did it.
No, I was fine.
So what was the
Well, so what
difference
changed?
in 2 years? What changed?
What happened?
What changed?
We went to Smith, and everybody decided, or a whole bunch of people decided that they couldn't work with the board. They were going to yell at the board.
For doing
Everything
Smith.
was our fault. Yeah.
Well, you want to know
Because
why? Because they all think that Smith and Smith are together. That's why.
Well, and that's stupid, isn't it?
Well, the problem is wait, stop. She needed to do a disclosure, which I was going to ask her for today to present that. She needs to do a disclosure because everyone swears that there's a relationship there.
Well, everybody thought that she was related to Barb, who used to be our pool monitor, because
Well.
they looked like.
Well, that's her sister, isn't it?
No.
I heard that. We need a cuss jar here. You need to put 25 cents in there. That's what my kids make me do. Listen, that
just
person.
because people make it up and spread it around.
Well, that person caused trouble too.
You've heard the phrase.
Perception.
Perception is reality.
Yeah.
But-
And
But the biggest problem that I hear is that people here have lost faith in the board.
Yeah.
They don't feel
Because
that
of Smith.
they don't feel that the board has the best interest of the residents. I'm
Why?
telling you, this is what
Well,
it's saying. Because nothing's getting done on their properties. They're seeing other people's properties done before theirs are, and they don't understand.
seeing similar
There's
things.
lots of stuff going around that people don't know, and you guys are taking the beating.
Yeah,
You're
You
taking
are.
the brunt of
Can
it.
we get rid of Smith? Can we do that?
That's our plan.
Yeah, but that's.
But
Our
we offered a team of people who in 6 months, June of last year, if you had agreed to turn us loose, we would have turned up viable candidates and done it in a professional way and been ready to transition. And you could have fired Smith for non-performance a
Last
year
year.
ago.
Yeah. Now
And
what?
you wouldn't. This is part of the hubris
We couldn't
that
have moved
that
because
I
everything,
see.
the
I'll just speak for
financials were so
myself.
screwed up, you could never have converted to
Okay,
another
go ahead.
system.
I'll just speak for myself.
Okay, yes.
This is part of the hubris that I see on long tenured board members. They think no one else can do it. No one else can do it as well as they can do it, and they close their minds to project teams of doing things. They don't delegate things to others. It's not giving up the responsibility. Had we had a team to come back with recommendations, the board would have listened to our recommendations on who we recommended, and the board still would have made the decision, but we'd have done the legwork. Instead, you have Shaw every day checking orders and approving which ones need to be done down in the
That's
minutia.
because Smith doesn't know. They had
I'm
just
just
burying
saying.
cable.
But
Yeah,
but
but
it's
that's
part
what's
of how
happening.
you operate. You, Greta, said if they want to be on the agenda, why don't they run to be a trustee?
That was your email.
That was your email, and that's what you said. And let me tell you that that's an attitude that we see prevalent throughout the board, because we have the right to bring up something on the board. We have the
you
right
didn't-
to call
You didn't bring
for
it up
your
until you
resignations.
have all this big production. Why can't it be?
Because nobody shuts us. You guys have shut us down. I have
And
tried
you
and
wanted
tried,
to
and
get the
Charlotte
facts.
has not allowed me to do anything. And I am probably one of the most educated people in here when it comes to this. And she has shut me down 3 times. You know, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to share something with you two right now. So keep your open mind. There are rules and regulations. You agree? We have rules and regulations.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the rules and regulations when it comes to signs? It's your own words. No vendor signs of any kind. The only sign you can have in your home or around your home is a for sale or the Maryland Heights. 10 years ago, Miss Charlotte Smith made me take my signs off my car, or she was fining me $75 a day and $50 thereafter. Who's running around with her signs on there? And it's in all these bylaws. There's in 4 sections. George Musterman, your own format, and the rules and regulations. So right now, Shaw, Charlotte, John Smith owe this organization, from all the time that she had her things on, $225,000. That's $75 for the first day and $50 thereafter, and 2 cars, 4 signs.
And you changed it to be, it's just those big work
It's a box
vehicles.
truck is what she told me. I have it in an email, and it is not. And this is not about real estate. I'm just pointing.
There's 2 regulations. There's 2 rules.
No.
There's one about signs in yards, and there's one about commercial vehicles.
Yes.
So this,
You have it.
Vehicle.
Yeah, there's no vehicles.
Tax deduction for it.
So why didn't you just come back and answer off the board.
I did,
I've never-
and she shot me down.
She's not the whole board.
No, but
She
you're big-
claims to be the whole board.
She
That's
is
the
biggest
problem.
And
That
she's
she's the
who
number
left.
one problem, and this whole development hates your guts. And everybody in this development will not help you and will not work with you until she's gone, and they would ask you because they think you're in cahoots with her.
Absolutely.
That I have it all.
Absolutely. You are equally damned with.
Yeah, because of your association.
Yes, with her.
Yeah.
Because of your long association together.
And the problem,
Because of the,
and the other problem is where whoever retains the book of all the private names, it has to be with the secretary. That's the rules in the law. She can't be carrying that book around. And I know for a fact she carries it around. And according to all the rules and regulations, only the secretary can have those books because she's the communicator. She has to have those books in order if something happens, say there's a catastrophe, she gets it out in everybody's email or calls everybody because you have all the information, and you, as secretary, are the only one that can carry books around. And that has annoyed everybody.
The secretary has never had the book.
Yeah, but it's in our rules and
The book
regulations.
of the owner information forms is what you're talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah.
That's set at A&C's office.
Well,
Until we understand.
Charlotte's got it in her. There's that one, and I have the covenants restrictions right in front of it. No signs of any kind. So when people read our condo docs and our rules and regulations, and then the first person to abide by not abiding by them is the president of the board. That's
But we
pretty.
have other trucks and smaller pickup trucks that have signs on them.
The only
and
one
names
I
on
know of
them.
is right here, and she's removing hers.
And mine's in my garage. It's
Yeah.
not on the
No, I've
street.
already checked. I've been through the whole development.
There have been over the years. 'Cause there
Well,
was
and I'll
one
give you an
over-
extra.
and they were asked to be removed.
And I'll tell you what
I can
Charlotte
give you
did.
an example of
Excuse me.
someone who
Let
was
me,
asked to
let me
remove
show you.
his truck.
Craig, who bought Connie bought Craig's unit 2 doors down from us. He was a mudjacker, and you should remember him because he lived. He had a brown F-150 truck. It had mudjacking on his door, painted. No ladder jacks, no nothing. Just a plain Ford pickup truck. He parked it in his driveway up close to the garage because Cindy had her Beamer inside. Charlotte did the same thing to him. So then he put it and parked it over in the parking across from us over there by the RV lot, hid it between 2 cars. She still fined him. So he started parking it up here at the vet center. He had to move it up here because Charlotte decided in her own wisdom that had to be done. He had a limp. He had a limp so bad you could see him. It would take him 35 minutes to go to his condo over there at 3124. Second instance, Bob, the guy who has the rescue dogs here on the corner of the 3rd house down on the left. Rob, sorry. He's a Ozark mechanic, which we know. He had an old Ford pickup truck also. No names, no nothing. It's just ugly. What did Charlotte do? Sent him a letter. He parked it in front of his house in the parking spot that's allowed right here. You can't park it there. It's not pretty enough. So then he put it up in his apron, up at the top where his railings are, and she still fined him. So he had to start driving it to O'Fallon to drive his daughter's car back so that he could have a work truck. That's what's going on, and everybody knows it. Everybody.
And there are, whether they are perception or reality, people feel there is favoritism
Here's my signs.
happening.
It doesn't matter. The point
And I
is,
have another person too who had a
it doesn't matter. It's in our rule. If the board can't abide by rules and regulations, then how in the heck is this going to exist?
Or make up new ones.
And yeah, and it doesn't say anything about a box truck. And anything that does happen here must be recorded at the courthouse, just like you did in 2014. You can't just
with the rental.
You can't just make up
The
stuff.
amendment, yes.
And you did a good job on that because we were proud to help. We helped you do that. Remember, Mark did all the flyers for you, everything, and all the information boxes. And I remember you standing at our mailbox thanking us. But you know, you got either it's all or it's none. And right now, there's a none going on. And that's really a shame that this is turning into this. Because this development is going to fail. It's going to go bankrupt. And from the other things I have, which we have not discussed, we're in big trouble. We're in very big trouble.
We have time to right this ship if you step aside.
And we have people that want to do
And I
it.
hope that you have enough care for Army Lakes that you will seriously consider that. Removing yourselves
And Charlotte.
from the board, and Charlotte most of all.
Charlotte's got to
You
go.
guys have done a wonderful job. Thank you so much for that.
You have,
But
you got
the
some
problem
big,
that
big, big issues.
The
is
problem
time
that she
to go.
made, mentioned a couple of minutes ago is very much the case. In summary, you guys are doing great. You're trying real hard, but it is your association with the problem. And the problem she has is the one that I brought up originally. I knew it would piss everybody off.
Don't say it again.
Yeah, no, just be
She
quiet.
works very hard at.
And we also know,
Where's
we also know another thing about her. I've been told now literally by 4 different anonymous people that she has short-term memory loss and she's going to be losing it here soon. And John has told her to slow down. So that came to me in emails yesterday. So I have that in writing. And that would also maybe determine why she's so angry and mean and nasty to everybody, because of that's what happens to your brain. I've had to deal with it several times. Your brain the chemistry in your brain starts going wacko, and you think you're losing it, don't want to lose it, don't want anybody to know it. Plus you try so hard trying to run everything, and just like on your committees, you guys are all on it. Why aren't there 35 people on those committees? I don't understand that.
Why do you have to have
Why-
a
why-
board member? Because they won't work with you. But why do you have to have a trustee
We
on
don't
every committee?
We
Yeah,
don't
it's-
have to. Nobody else is.
No, she's got it written down that it must, on Char's own.
On certain ones.
Well,
we
it doesn't
have
need to be, because it shouldn't be, because there's more educated people. You've got to do this stuff in Autumn Lakes. You need to have some sort of background in it. You need to either be in construction or plumbing or landscaping or chemistry. And I want to ask before you guys leave about that. When we have, oh my God, the intelligence in this community just blows me away what we have here. And not one of it is being utilized because of the situation. And they're refusing to, just like people won't come in here and work. That's why you're not getting workers on those jobs. They don't want to deal with.
Work with you.
They will not work with Charlotte and
They
you.
will not
No.
work with
I walked
Charlotte.
this neighborhood the last weekend in the heat, and I had one-to-one conversations with so many people, and I got the same thing. I would love to help, but I won't help with the current board, especially with Shaw.
So
That's
you're
a
saying
reality
that's
you
why
need.
people didn't sign up for the committee?
That's correct.
Yes.
And they told us all. They've told us all
And
that.
it's why they wouldn't
And
run
because
for the board.
You have to allow people to work in different ways. They are volunteers, as are you, and you need to be able to delegate and let things be. You have to define what end result you want or what process you want to follow. Do that. What is happening is you guys are up to your elbows in getting the work done instead of being a leadership group, delegating to others, getting people on board. And I recognize you're in a catch-22 situation because they won't work with you, so now you don't have people who will volunteer. And which is first? I'm mixing metaphors, but the chicken or the egg? You know,
Well, when you said, I can't.
Take a breath. Take a breath.
When you said that guy had to park over there and he had to limp and walk here.
Craig, and now you know where he lives? He bought a condo, a flat unit over here in Kelly Heights. Right here. Because he couldn't walk down the street, you know?
I can't get past that. That is so wrong.
Well, Charlotte did it.
I don't care who did it.
Yeah, I know. Thank
you
you.
should
Couldn't get
care
past that.
because she's the leader here.
I have no, but I would like to say, we're all going to be dead and gone pretty soon.
I know
We
that.
are.
Yeah.
Scared to
And this
death.
board
Well,
will
shouldn't I
keep-
try
a board will
and
keep
guide
on
you?
going. Autumn Lakes will keep on going.
It may
Nobody's indispensable.
Correct.
Know
That's
that.
correct.
Including
All of us. Yeah.
all the people, long
I'm not
tenured people.
including anyone. I'm saying
Just saying.
no one is indispensable.
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That's right.
No one.
But we need to work together. We need to get this figured
But you
out.
still have
I
a threat that you're
agree.
going to take us and do something horrible, so we're going to.
Well, it's not
It's not horrible,
us.
it's
It's Autumn
really
Lakes.
Now, my question is, so you have a new board.
We have people
is all
that.
of this bashing and hateful talking, and people are hateful.
Yes,
with
they
the
are.
things they have to say.
Oh, it's
that's
horrible.
not right.
It
No.
isn't, but
No,
they're so
agreed.
angry.
You
So
made a
angry.
threat that Retta and Madonna, and you better leave now before this tsunami hits.
No, that was Mark.
Correct.
Mark Gavin did that.
You said
And
it.
I did.
Oh, I
If
think
you
I
could
did.
just shut
Yes.
them up, things would improve.
Well,
And-
I think we
Maybe
just
shut
need to
them
have
up.
a change, literally a change.
But
Now,
this-
can
but
I
it is
share
a
with them?
tsunami.
Honest to God,
If I
he
can
came
re-
in after the petition and came in with a chip.
Can I share something?
Okay, I was going to answer the tsunami thing.
Okay, can we share what we know?
Sure.
We have his resignation already. We have his, and we will join it with yours. So
And
that'll
we-
be the end of it.
yeah.
And Mark, he's already been squelched. He's already been reprimanded. He's gone. He's out of the situation. So he resigned with us on Saturday.
15th.
Yeah, we have it.
And we are calling
Because we-
for your voluntary resignation, and the reason for that is for the good of Autumn Lakes. You have not been following the bylaws. There are some other problems which you can say and listen to Jairus, identify those, but we are asking for you to remove yourselves voluntarily so that it can be done gracefully.
Yes.
You can
Save
open
face.
the meeting
Quite
tonight,
honestly, we don't want
and
people
you
to
can
know
open
this
the
stuff.
meeting, you can give the updates, things that were on your agenda, and then the last thing that Charlotte, you would say is to notify the people who are here that the board has voluntarily resigned, and then you turn the floor over to the spokesperson.
I don't think that's going to happen tonight. I think that's expecting a lot.
I think it
Why?
needs to happen.
It's got to
Why?
happen.
It can happen tonight. Why are we expecting so much?
Let me share.
Why are
Let me
we
share this.
expecting something that-
Let me share this other thing, and you may want to be out of here last week. I have a question for you. Laura, you were on the board. You were not Redis, so you're okay. You're okay in all of this.
This issue.
This is a major issue, and I do environmentals when I sell properties, because a lot of times there's been stuff dumped, spilled, whatever. What happened with the lakes? Besides Ornberg and his fancy fountain and not working, and it was all plastic and spending so much money. What
What happened? with the lakes?
what happened? What?
And you got that from Jay.
No, did not. I haven't spoken to Jay.
Yeah, well, that's where the.
I know about the fountains because I saw them. I saw them when we had good fountains that Keith had gotten and put on his credit card for $7,000. They were great fountains. The fountains are used down here at
But they
Westport.
weren't approved, and that was over the limit that he could spend.
Okay. But they weren't approved by you.
They weren't approved by the board.
Okay, that's
and
what I'm saying.
And he only was able to go up to like $1,500 or $2,000.
Well, you can't buy a fountain for that. But anyway.
I know, because you're supposed to get a bid and have the board.
Yeah, but no.
decide.
Anyway, go on. So beyond the fountains and Dickie Boy, which I have no respect for because he was a peeping Tom and peeped in our windows all the time, and his dog peed all over our bushes, and I caught him at 4:30 in the morning every day. So go on from there. We have him on camera. I'm so glad he's gone. He's a worthless piece of crap. Excuse me, but he is. So go on. What happened? What got dumped in the fountains? What got dumped in the water? What got sprayed in the water?
What gets sprayed in the
What got
lakes?
sprayed all around the lakes? You don't know.
I don't know.
Okay. Roundup was sprayed first of all. Everybody knows what Roundup is. You use it for weeds. You know, Roundup is made by these wonderful people down here off Lindbergh, which is now part of Bayer Aspirin. Anyway, so they sprayed Roundup all around the lake. Roundup has a short, now I am not a chemist, but I am aware of this. Roundup has a short chemistry life, or a lysotope is what it's called. And you can talk to the chemist. Jordan is a chemist, and he bought a condo with us. He lives down over here in Doc, the hand doctor's mother's unit over here. And he works out here at Earth City at the one where all the trees are around all that building and you can't see anything. Anyway, Roundup you spray. Everybody uses it. Spray it along your sidewalks, driveways, whatever. It kills up here, but it shoots down into here and it gets into the roots. That makes it turn brown and kills it. What happens is this kind of breaks off and blows away. So this is up above ground. So this is ground level. What happens to these roots down here is they dissipate, break up, just, go away. You know how roots go away. And it goes into the ground. So whatever's in that root has now penetrated or percolated into the ground. Okay? So it's like if you pour water on top of the ground, what does it? It percolates down into the ground. That's the same thing. Because it takes about, they say 9 to 12 months for that to dissipate, to go away, washed away is the potent part. Then, next year that plant will come back or another weed will come back. But what happens to the ground? The ground is now contaminated for a short time. on this one. So that one's, and it can go down into the water, because what happens? We have rain goes in the ground goes into the water. So we have all this stuff that happens, goes on down. Now, whatever was sprayed on the lily pads and the frogs and the fish, that's another story. That's why I wanted to know what it is, because I was told it was Grazon. Grazon is
When? What time?
2 weeks ago.
By whom?
The person working on the pond.
For what?
We hired Solitude because they know what they can spray. They know what the process
And
is.
then the person said that whatever the board tells us to put on there is what we put on there. Now,
that's some guy that comes out and sprays weeds.
that's why we've got to
He
figure
has
this
no idea
out.
what's
Okay.
going on.
Well, that's the problem.
No, we signed the contract with Solitude to treat the lakes. They know what we've got in there. I mean, the primrose and crap that's in there that needs to be under control. And they're supposed to know what they can legally do and what they can
This is what
safely do.
But even if they don't know,
This is my problem.
you can be liable for what they've put down
This is-
because you hired them.
Laura, this is
Did
my
not
my dilemma, because I've worked with this before. Okay, this is just, I'm telling you, I'm a straight out person. I'm a straight shooter. This is no bullshit. Whatever they put in there to turn that brown is probably Grazon. If you go out in the farms, you're driving along, oh, that's a pretty wheat field, the green grass is blowing, and then all of a sudden you come by the next day and it's brown, that's Grazon. They spray wheat fields to turn it all brown at the same time so they can pick it, so the moisture content of the wheat kernels are in the right percentage, which has to be 36%, because our cousin does that, and Mark got to drive the tractor one day, and that's how they store it into the silos so that they don't have fires. It has to be certain levels and all that stuff. Now, when that happens, that Grazon, or it's a carcinogenic. Both Roundup and this one are carcinogenics and cause cancer. So when all that happens, this is what happens. You spray it on the lily pads, you spray it around, and guess what? The wind's blowing. It gets all in the lake, all in the lake. So what happens here is all this gets killed. It's brown, it's ugly, it smells like a sewer down there. At least I think it does. And what's this thing over here? I think it's called a dam. Gee whiz, that water runs underneath this dam, underneath the road.
You're talking about the overflow.
Underneath the buildings.
Underneath the buildings, here it is. Goes underneath the culverts, goes on down under the houses, and guess where it ends up? Down on River Road. And you know what all that is? If EPA comes in here and all it takes is one phone call, and it's not going to be from me because I'm not going to get involved with the EPA because it's a nightmare. If one phone call from here, from any of the people there talking about how it smells like sewer and how everything is dead, they will come in here and this is what they're going to do. The first thing they're going to do is they're going to do core boring drawing. They're going to do a core bore. Where do I have the core bore? I'm sure it's here. A core bore is where they go down in. Here it is. They take a drill and they drill down into
The ground.
the ground. That's a core bore drilling. And it goes down as deep as the lake. How deep do we dredge those lakes?
15.
Thank you. So they're going to go down 2 feet beyond that. Okay? So they're going to do a core bore drilling. That's taking the dirt out, putting it in a cylinder, sealing it up. Then what they're going to do, they're going to take 6 or more water samples in the water, and they'll take it from all sides of the water. Then they're going to, after they do all that and they do their findings, if this comes back positive in any way, shape, or form, any parts per million over, I think it's over 4. 4 parts per million is smaller than the lead on your pencil. That's how bad this is. So if it's over whatever their requirement is on that, which, then what they'll have to do, the guys in monkey suits will come in, or whatever you want to call them, the PVC, the personal protection suits. What they're going to do is they'll come in, they'll remove stuff, they'll have to drain the water. The water will have to be taken to Clean Harbors over across the river. A little bit of money there. Then they'll have to come in and dig the dirt out as far down as 15 or more feet. That's going to be some money. Then they're going to have them climb in, and they're going to have to scrape all of this stuff off. Wherever that water flowed, they're going to have to do a scraping, a reading, and a testing. Then after that, who knows what they'll do.
Yeah, I've heard enough.
That's millions of dollars of stuff, and
I
that
think it
scares the heck out
I'm
of me.
Shit out of me.
I'm gonna leave.
Okay,
I would like to say a couple more things.
sure.
Sure.
I don't want it to go beyond this room.
Please.
We're not.
I'm
Please.
done.
Okay.
I'm resigning.
Do you want a resignation? I have a resignation.
No.
Okay.
I'll do my own.
Okay, that's
I
fine.
don't need that.
That's fine.
I don't need it. I don't need all this negativity.
Well, I don't want this to happen on Autumn Lakes because this is going to cost us millions of dollars.
I don't need all this negative.
I don't want it.
So nobody will make the phone call. if
I'm
you
not making
resign.
I'm not making the phone call. No, I'm not going to do it, and nobody knows the degree of what's going on.
So I really don't need to hear any more.
Okay,
Um,
but this is what scares me the most of
I don't
everything
know
else.
why you guys went after me.
We
We didn't mean to.
didn't.
It's just
You
your
need to.
secretary.
Your secretary.
You are an officer of the board,
Yeah, we're not.
and all of
I
us
just
collectively.
still don't know why you went after me. You were gonna run for the board and didn't.
Yes, I didn't. After
Yeah.
discussions with Charlotte, I did not.
That's,
Discussions with Shaw.
you
I
know-
withdrew my name because I didn't want this to be how I spend my time, my next 2 or 3 years. This is not what I wanted to do. I will, however, I may not have all of the details of what Laura Farkas has or Shaw or even you. I may not have all of that, but I do know leadership. I do know things will be different. And we hear again from one person after another. If the current board is gone, we will step forward. And the people who are stepping forward are people who will work together in a professional way. They want to be part of this. They
I
do
wanna
not
see
want
how
to be
good,
under
I wanna,
some.
yeah.
I'm not involved in it. So I'm just the analyst
I'm
here.
done.
So, yeah.
And I would appreciate, do not send me any email and do not. I do not go on social media.
Okay.
I do not do Facebook. I don't do any of
I
them.
wish I didn't.
I'm prohibited.
Please do not involve my name
Yeah.
in anything.
And nothing's going to go beyond this room today on this.
No, I think when
I
we
just
first
wanted you to be
started-
aware of it.
When we first
Is that
started this
scary?
meeting, everyone,
Is this yours?
there's a lot of anger, there's a
This
lot of
meeting
people being
started
upset.
that,
And if
Laura.
we did start.
Is this
Come on.
Retta? Is this yours? Is that yours?
Yes.
Yeah, we
This
did.
meeting started bad.
It did. But I guess, I believe
Some.
that
That
if
is
people act badly,
for sure.
we give them a chance to calm down, take a deep breath, get through to a more
That
productive
wasn't
meeting.
given, that's not how
And
this
that's-
meeting started.
It isn't, but I think that's how we ended up. Now, if I'm mistaken.
I want to be honest.
you know,
When she announced that she had to leave by 3:30, that set the tone. And
No,
I-
we talked about only having an hour.
well, that wasn't on the
But you
email.
didn't tell us.
That wasn't ours. That wasn't on the email.
This is the problem.
We didn't know.
You don't communicate to people.
See?
You think you are the world unto yourself, and you can call all the rules.
But anyway, we're done,
And
and
you
you know
know
where
best.
everything's at. So thank you for coming, Retta. I love you. I don't know anything about you, but it was not you. I cried when I saw what was going on in here, and I'm being very honest. I have never seen this go downhill so quickly, and that hurt me because I thought, what about these 75% of these older people out here that are hanging dry, that don't know what to do, can't be helped? What's going to do with them? And my husband's here by himself a lot. You know, I come and go and I work all over, and he's working terrible hours, and he can't take care of it. He climbs out on the roof and does our gutters because we haven't been able to get them
I
done.
did
You
it
know, it's
this
just
last weekend.
Well, we need change.
The flyers that went around,
We need change
Come on.
because people are wanting to
No.
move out of here.
So what is your complaint about the flyers?
oh my God, please, Laura.
No, I'm serious. That's a serious question.
Well, you put all 21 in question, and 21's been done, and it's fine.
But I haven't seen it. I couldn't even get it from Smith Management. So, I mean,
Because they didn't do it.
well, then how can it be done?
The rule,
So after AMC is no longer our property management, they did the tax filings and everything for 2021,
no, Smith,
picked up 2021.
they had the attorney or the CPA guy that did the taxes
Okay.
for 21.
Do we have a CPA that regularly audits the books or that?
No,
works?
we only did it every 5 or whatever years.
Yeah,
when
this
we
has
were
got to
with
be,
Do you know
this
when
looks
it was
bad.
last done?
It looks really bad.
No, I could find out, but I don't know.
Okay. You know, in a best case world, I would love to see, I would really love to, I would love to see the officers resign, and I would love to see the officers get recognition for what they have done.
Oh, don't give me any
Gracefully,
recognition.
gracefully, and then work with
You know,
the interim leadership team
The meeting
toward
was already
May.
over. Stick it up your ass. Yeah,
You've handled it
I'm done.
badly, I will just say.
I'm done.
People that I used to talk to when I walked my dog, I now no longer trust, because then I find out they're all the neighbors, and I just feel like they're stabbing me in the back, so.
And why? Why do you think?
Oh, well, like one that told me the only thing she was concerned about was getting rid of Smith. And I said, you guys all know that we said we were working on that, or get ready to work on that. And the next thing I know, she's out recruiting people to sign up to force us to resign. So I don't trust anybody.
So, you know what? You want to replace Smith, and what do you have? One person. I'm calling around. I'm doing that. That's not what it takes. It takes many people to get together. Yeah, and it starts with your resignation and Shaw's. I'm sorry. It is what it's going to take to write this. You can stay in. You can stay in until May and do whatever you want. It's just going to make it worse. And instead of being able, while there's energy, people don't want the negativity. People want to turn this around.
Are you okay? I said, yeah, I'm just.
Is it not? People think that it's who you know, if there's preferential treatment on who gets stuff
Mark's
done.
been making up shit.
No,
right now.
No, this precedes March.
Oh, no, I have my own personal people who have told me to my face that they got preferential treatment. I actually have
Activity has to stop.
statements from somebody who said that. So, you
And
And that
know,
was with AMC.
No, it was as early, it was as late as last month.
You know what?
as late
And
as
they
2
are
weeks
willing
ago,
to
as a matter of
sign
fact.
documents or have already given us something in writing to say, this is what I was promised if I listed with
Very
Sean.
difficult, because you're, with this problem and.
Or John.
This problem
My-
is-
We
my
need to go.
board is the-
We're locking up.
This problem,
you know.
you see the whole picture, and you're part of it.
Well,
My wife is the president of the board. We'll get it done before closing.
you need
Had
anything
several
done,
people
we'll get
say
it done.
this. Anything you need done, we'll get it done for you. Don't be blind.
I'm blindsided. So
Well,
we've been threatened.
This shouldn't be blindsiding you.
you should know all this already.
You should have met with us.
You should have, yes.
I'm not having.
A year ago.
Look at everybody.
We have only
Yeah,
been
we
on
went to
this
the meeting. We met with the people from the
People are
petition.
busy and do not always have time. I
Like,
get
nobody
what
else
you're
asked us to meet with them.
And why wouldn't you meet with us? That's ridiculous.
When?
A year ago, we offered to help you. You would have had 20 people helping you on clarifications and on other things.
Okay,
But
the
not
petition
your
came out,
leaders.
and you said we had to meet with the people. The people came, we had the meeting. That was all we
There
ever
is
heard.
such a disconnect between the board
You want to
and
take your
citizens.
Well,
People
all I
understand
can
that way.
say, depending on, I had a friend that always told me, may you get what you want and may you want it when you get it.